name is Leon Gaber, and I am the national lead for KPMG's critical infrastructure, resilience, and emergency management practice. Support governments at all levels, from federal, provincial, First Nations, and municipal, to critical infrastructure asset owners, in supporting them right across the four phases of emergency management. Many times we find that our clients don't have the capacity or capability to really stand up a significant response team and in a sustained way have an effective response to significant events. We're helping them to increase that level of readiness. The first and primary thing that we always think about is, do they understand the risks that their community or the assets that they're responsible for are subject to? Things like conducting holistic risk assessments. Have they thought about how climate is impacting their risk to the assets that they're responsible for or the community that they're responsible for? Have they thought about that risk in the future? It's quite common, particularly I would say with First Nation governments, with municipal governments, where they really are overwhelmed. They address that feeling of being overwhelmed. Where is there an opportunity to partner? Whether from developing partners with your neighbors, other communities around you, with critical infrastructure asset owner companies that are within your communities, with other levels of government, looking for partnerships with professional firms like ourselves. There's a whole host of different ways that governments, that companies can partner to increase their level of readiness, to share resources and coordinate across each other to be at a higher state of readiness. So we need to be having that broader mindset to response to emergency events, to being resilient, by including all levels of society. And that's from the public sector to the private sector to individual citizens as well. A conference like CEPCA, particularly it being a nationwide conference, is super important because this allows governments, private sector companies, innovators from right across the country to come together, have a national conversation, look for partnerships, form relationships, learn from each other. Without these kinds of events, I think we are at risk of continuing to be siloed across our country because it is so large, siloed across governments and communities because we don't have that venue for a national conversation.